Hello guys, what's up? It's TSPage, and today I want to go over this quick little thing that I saw posted by one of my Lost Halls. I think it was a security or officer, someone who works with me on the Lost Halls, and he posted this, and I decided to take a look at it. As a lot of you guys know, I am a big person, as far as, not big, but like, I'm big on doing Lost Halls, running Lost Halls, like trying to do as much as possible. I'm big on Lost Halls, we'll put it that way. And so here they have a rework of it coming soon. I don't know if it's out now or if it's coming out soon. I think it's coming out soon, I'm not sure. But we'll read it along. I've skimmed over it briefly, so I do know a little bit of what I'm talking about, so I'm not completely silly just reading over this, but I want to read it and kind of go over what the changes might mean from my personal opinion, because Lost Halls is probably what I run most out of anything right now, and I also watched a little bit of the gameplay, just a couple minutes of it, just to get the general outline. Okay, so Kid Force, I might put a little bit of your video in here. I hope you're okay with that. It's not trying to steal or anything, just to help spread the word and ideas. So let's start reading, if you guys haven't already. So, biggest complaint was the size, and we have made several changes to the generation to make the dungeon smaller, more coherent, and a lot less backtracking. The exact details are a bit difficult to explain without prior knowledge of the old map gen system, but there's much more rhyme and reason to it now. Less pointless dead ends, shorter sub-branches, and less frustrating to navigate in general. So let's start out with breaking this down section by section. So exact details are a bit difficult to explain without okay. There is much more rhyme and reason to it, which possibly means that people, assuming Lost Halls doesn't die with raid leaders and stuff, that raid leaders will be able to better understand patterns over time, look at them. I know personally I will be looking at patterns. So if you actually have like a bunch of Lost Halls maps, or like not yet, but whenever the new Lost Halls comes out, I want to look at a bunch of maps and compare them and see how the best way to lead them would be. And so there's much more rhyme and reason to it, so I feel like it's going to be a little bit less random and easier to lead. And then there's less pointless dead ends and shorter sub-branches. So pointless dead ends are where we deal with these all the time. We'll go off, we'll do like 2 splits, go up, and then like let's say we go to the left, up 2, there's a triple split, we go up 2, and it looks like there's going to be a triple no split, which is how you identify if you're on the right path to boss, and then it's just a dead end. I think that's what it means by less pointless dead ends. And the shorter sub branches also kind of means, instead of there being this shorter sub branches will probably indirectly make the Lost Halls smaller, because there will be less weird off ways to go. So let's say you're going up, you get a starting room, you go up 2 rooms, and then there's 3 branches. You can go up, left, or right, and then you go right. Instead of it being like right, and then you get another room with 2 splits, and then another room with 2 splits, and then it's a dead end, it'll be like just another room with a split, and then you'll go one way, quickly find a dead end, or a flame or boss path, whatever, and then you can do it all quicker and head back. So yes, less frustrating to navigate in general. So that's going to be a big help to all of us. Okay, so the monotony dungeon. Okay. This is actually really cool. I saw this in a video. As soon as you step into the new Lost Halls, you'll see it. Another big issue was the monotony of the dungeon. So to remedy this, we've introduced hazard rooms. Sorry about that. Almost yelling at me. Okay, where was I? We were somewhere down here. Another big introduce hazard rooms and bonus rooms. So hazard room contains danger like water to slow you down, high standard dodging, pure evil to inflict damage, and more exotic hazards such as arrow traps, bomb tiles, and randomized debuff area pillars like the marble pillar. While bonus rooms include something to help the player, like a positive buff and more visibility has been improved, so enemies will be visible behind corners. That is a big deal. So all of these are really cool. The aesthetic changes, it'll change up the dungeon. Also, they changed the texturing of the dungeon. It looks a lot more nicer and detailed, and it has more like layering shading to it. But where was it? Where was it? Around corners. These are big. I always have to, whenever I'm raid leading, I always have to call corners and say, watch your corners, watch your corners. Especially with golem rooms, angry boys, and sad boys. They are always right around the corner, and people have died numerous times just boop, coming around the corner. Same thing with Command of the Crusade. They always like to hide around the corner, and they'll always just screw players just coming around the corner. That is going to prevent like 30% of Lost Halls deaths. This is a huge change. This is a good one. The room size has been increased from 13 by 13 to 17 by 17, so it offers more room for maneuvering in combat. This should make rushing a little bit easier as well, from what I can tell. Or like, yeah, this will definitely make rushing easier. They might expand the rotation, so like Oryx rooms, the enemies rotate in the center. They might just expand the radius at which they do that. Revamped energy systems. Okay, yeah. So we're done with that dungeon generation. Like the stuff. Okay. I think that's most of the important things. These traps and tiles will be cool to experiment with. I'll definitely make a video on the new Lost Halls whenever it's out. Unless it's already out, then I feel really bad. And if it is already out, then I'll be doing this at the end of the video, and this will be really long. Okay, yeah, I'm on a ramble. Let's go. Revamped fighting system. Finding the same enemies and again when backtracking was boring. We have heard those complaints loud, well, very loud. You'll be glad to hear that there are only enemy that not only are enemy respawns gone, but we also remove the invulnerability on most monsters. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. My phone might go off, but I'll try and ignore it a little bit better. Let's continue on. Removed invulnerability, completely gone. No more backtracking, no more respawns. Okay, no more backtracking. I guess what this means. I'm looking at a Lost Halls event, and I want some really good drops, like maybe 1 guaranteed Omni for every 10 people. No. Something crazy, but like, if we did a Lost Halls event, that'd be pretty dope. If you get my drift. Alright, sorry. Let's see here. They removed the invulnerability on most monsters, which only the family leaders having it for a short time. This is something that we've all wanted. We've wanted less invulnerability because it just takes forever to kill things whenever they're just in the group invulnerable. So the dungeon is currently only run by big groups, so to make it fun, regardless of the size, we're introducing HP scaling, yada yada yada. Makes it less required for big groups. Plus sides and downsides. This kind of goes against everything that I liked initially about the Lost Halls. The thing that I liked the most initially about the Lost Halls was you required a big group. Like, we have been wanting since before Deca, long before Deca, we wanted a dungeon that actually required teamwork to complete. Because with the addition of pets, you could solo practically every dungeon, minus maybe the nest, and that's also a Deca-made dungeon. The Lost Halls required a group in order for you to do it in a timely fashion. It required one. And so if they do HP scaling at the rate I think they might do it, then this could be a really unfortunate hit to that, and I actually wouldn't be against it changing back. Not necessarily to be as hard, but like, with the invulnerability gone on most monsters, you don't really need... You can go back to that old HP, especially for bigger groups. Like, you can just shred almost any monster at that point. Unfortunate change in my opinion. I understand why they did it. I just don't think it was the greatest way to go about it. Just personally, it's been my favorite dungeon because it requires a group. It feels like you have to have one in order to get anywhere. I already said that. And that's why I like the dungeon so much, and that's part of the reason I'm playing still today, because of the Lost Halls and it requiring a team. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's some way to balance it. I'll maybe make a document or something, or make another video on it. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I still haven't tested it out yet, so we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Revamped enemies' behavior. We've updated several monsters' behaviors to make them more fair, engaging, and distinct from one another, less capable of instant kills, and more fun to fight overall. Certain pushover enemies will now be more meaningful. Let's see here. Whereas overpowered enemies should be more balanced, so maybe like the Crusade. Let's see here. Some brand new attacks have also been added, so watch your backs. I'll love to look forward to that. Combined with a hazard bonus rooms, the amount of variety has been, okay, just overall variety has been increased. I like it. As I said here, aesthetic rework, we'll look at the video in a second. I don't need to really do it. Updated tiles, walls, and monster sprites to get rid of all the overshading to fit better with the rest of the game. Particularly, every art asset from the main dungeon has been adjusted. Yeah, cool. So tweaked bosses. We've introduced HP scaling to all of the bosses as well. Now you can solo it because the void doesn't require 1 million damage to kill, unless the base is 1 million and it scales from there, but I highly doubt it. Let's see here. The Marble Colossus survival phases have been modified and no longer will be based on time. Instead, for more player agency, you must shift your focus now to the marble cores that will progress the phase once destroyed. Okay. So this basically means that you have to kill the pillars in order to move on the boss, at least what I think. Malice and his cultists now have more interesting early phases, and Void Entity's minions are now much more fearsome. That'll be interesting, because they can already kill people. Let's see, that's an interesting change. If Void gets harder, I'm not against it. If they're HP scaling the Void and the minions get harder, that's good, because that'll make it even harder to solo. I don't want Void to be able to... I don't think Void should be a boss that people should be able to solo. I do not think that is a good thing. Many surprises are in store, and for those asking, yes, Lost Halls Century is also getting some behavior changes. This includes a bigger arena to go with our bigger halls. Okay. Oh yeah, the wider hallways. The hallways are wider, as well as new traditional shot patterns. We haven't quite decided what we want to do with the HP yet, whether it's just straight up nerf it or introduce. Wait, what is this? Oh, the Lost Century. I thought it was Spectral. Okay. Let's see here. So they are going to change the Lost Century, the event, because no one likes to do it because of how long it takes. I would definitely be all for that. Let's see here. So we're going to watch some of the... Okay, so it's just Lost Halls 2.0 is still in development. So, Lamella Ball, basketball, Santa's Workhouse. Workshop. Okay. Okay. So they got a pit. I wonder what the pit does. I think you can't walk in the pit. Okay. So let's go over this kind of slowly. We'll speed it up a little so we can go through it faster. Let's go to 2 times speed and see how that goes. Okay, that should be fine. Thanks, Kid Force, for the video. Very insightful and meaningful. Just some normal gameplay. They don't really say anything else about it. All shown footage was work in progress from a development build. Yep. Okay, so as you can see, golems are now circling. They don't look to be as chasey as before. The rooms are also a lot wider, and they were easy to kill in this 6-person or so group. So not easy, but they definitely weren't too hard to kill. And it looks like there's a little bit more golems than normal. Or there's just about the same. Looks like there's pretty similar amounts. So there's pits. Removes walking. Oh wow, those things just get shredded. Wow, the Crusade just gets shredded. But the Commander still seems to have its aggressive behavior. Still has invulnerability frames, which means it'll still get into the group. That's good. Okay. And this isn't out, don't worry about it. I will make a video about it as soon as it comes out. Hopefully I'm not out of town whenever it happens, because I'm always out doing stuff. But they said it's a work in progress, so they changed this to have a more circular feel. That's kind of cool. I like how they're changing it up. Commanders, Crusade, let's skip ahead a little bit. They seem to be running into a lot of golems and crusades. I don't know if they changed the spawn rates or anything, but it's kind of cool. So they got pure evil in that room. Got 3 minutes left at 2 times speed, so only a minute and a half left. They got ice in that room. That's pretty cool. The pot rooms look way... that just goes for show how much bigger the rooms are. Like, the pot rooms are so much more spaced. It's going to be interesting to see. Guild Lost Halls look very, very, very possible with this rescaling. I hope Deca takes the scaling part, the group part back into account. Like, I don't know if they weren't thinking about that, but like, it's meant to be run in groups. Oh, wow, they got a mother slime? That looks like the mother slime or something from Terraria. Did you steal that? Did you steal that sprite? No, I'm just kidding. I would never think of that. I would never think they would do that. But that's pretty cool. They changed the slime room. I don't see... Well, never mind. But there seems to be a lot less dead ends. Like, they're not running into any problems. Is that... Oh, that better not be all the way scrolled out. No, that's definitely not. Yeah, because you can see it. Okay. Orcs rooms, no iframes. It looks like iframes for invincibility frames, intelligibility, either one, for those of you wondering. So Mario still have iframes whenever they come into the group, but then go out of those relatively quickly. How much time do we have left? We don't have much time left. Okay, they don't want to tease any more of that, so... Okay, so let's go back, look at the document, have it on our closing screen. How long has this video been? I don't know. I'm not going to check right now. So, interesting, for sure. I hope Deca takes into account that this is the dungeon that people have been looking for ages, almost half a decade, to actually require teamwork. Yes, it's actually been half a decade. 5 years since people have been really playing the game and begging for stuff. 2017, when did it start? 2012, 2011, yeah. So I hope they don't keep those enemies as easy, because they look a lot easier than they did before, and that just doesn't feel right. I'm completely okay with the, what was it called? The getting rid of intangibility frames or invincibility frames, because that just makes the enemies go faster. The no more respawns, that's also pretty nice. But making every aspect of the dungeon easier in every way just doesn't feel quite right. It's almost like they're not punishing you, but like making it not worth your time to get a big group together for the Lost Halls. So, as of right now, Lost Halls is still running strong on our Discord. I'll put the link in the description if you're wanting to run Lost Halls before this comes out, so you can compare before and after, or if you just don't, or if you're in like something like Spooky Boy Hideout or Spooky Boy, whatever, the Lost Halls, and then Lost Halls Hideout. If you're in either one of those and they're not doing runs at the moment, we got it going. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what they do in the final product. I'm sure what we've seen isn't going to be the final product, but I like it. It looks a lot more nice. There's pure evil. There's things to do. There's things to fight. The ice room's kind of cool. Did not show us Spooky Boy. Did not show us him again. I don't know if he's been changed. I don't think he really needs to be changed. But I think, if anything, the enemies should stay having a lot of HP. They were meant to have a lot of HP and meant to be fired on by groups of enemies. I don't think the right path for this dungeon is to make the enemies have a lot less HP, because the prime feature of this dungeon is to have a dungeon with group, but I've already been griping about that for long enough. We'll see how they do it. I hope they take this into consideration whenever nerfing the enemies or doing the HP scaling. It's that one dungeon that everyone relies on for good old teamwork, so yeah. we'll see how it goes. I want to hear your comments and opinions on the Lost Halls and what we've done so far, or on what we've looked at so far and seen so far. And I really want to hear what you guys have to say. This video ran quite a bit longer than I expected, but I hope it was informative, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next video. This is not taking up a normal upload. This is just something I'm doing because I have the chance, because I see it now. I'll be uploading most likely this Friday, Saturday, tomorrow or Saturday as a normal upload, but yeah. Leave a like and subscribe. No more cringy outro. I've been doing this for long enough. See ya. Peace.